one of those exciting weekends. DJ Tonjek seemed to have, I don't know, woken up on one side of the bed this morning, playing some exciting music. So exciting, I had to dress down a bit and, just, boogie, enjoy myself. It's going to get really, really intense in the studio. We're talking about something absolutely exciting. Women, okay, not necessarily women, but the role of women in a man's life. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But we also have someone who is here and going to make things a lot more exciting. Brian Mugenyi, the man on the sax. And I like to do this when, an instrumentalist in the studio without a band or anything like that. I like to put them with DJ Tonjek and have them play together, because I think it's absolutely exciting to put this guy to the test and his DJ skills and have, Brian Mugenyi do a couple of things. So, I'm just going to get out of the way, let these guys do their thing. We'll come back and talk about the role of women in men's life in just a bit. You are watching NTV GXP. Good morning. Somebody's playing something, no?
You have shocked me. Okay.
So I know what key you're playing.
I give you a...
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in any pitch. It's just a drum. Yeah.
Oh, the amazing Brian Mugenyi. Welcome back to boss.
Brian Mugenyi.
Mugenyi. Ngachala. How are you, Brian? How you doing, man? How's your life?
Great.
Amazing stuff on the sax, man.
Thank you.
I'm curious. Yeah, like how long have you been playing? I started to ask you these questions before I get into like the hard ones. How long have you been playing like sax and?
Close to 6 years now.
Okay. Did you play anything before that, or were you just one morning you just woke up and said I want to do music, or were you one of these? Well, I've been playing music since 5 years. Those things, those stories.
Okay, yeah, I know it's a cliche, but yeah, I've been playing music since I was 8.
So you've been playing sax for 5. What were you playing before?
I played piano since I was 8. I used to play at I used to minister at the church, Calvary Chapel, from 2004 to 2008. That's 4 years. I used to play keys and bass guitar and
So you
dra- and
can
drums
play all these
sometime.
other instruments.
Pretty much everything anything I pick interest at.
So you say you play drums, you play keys, you play bass guitar, and you play sax.
I used to play mainly keys and bass.
Yeah.
But I did a little bit of drums here and
Yeah.
there. Obimanyi, you
Yeah.
know, just, you know.
So tell me about Brian. Like, you know, if someone wanted to, because you're not a very, I mean, other than people seeing you on stage, you know, playing sax, we don't know much of, you know, who you are, what you do. Not like you as a person, you know, what things are you interested in? What you do in your free time?
Free time, I like to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, I sleep during my free time. I watch movies. I practice. I compose. I'm actually composing. There's music I'm working on. It's a fusion, I'd say, between classical music and jazz. So I'm composing for an orchestra right now. It's taking me quite a bit, but yeah, that's what's been taking most of my time lately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you say you're a composer. That means you actually went to school for these things. Have you gone
Yes,
to
yes. I go to AIM. I go to AIM. I just haven't gone for 2 semesters because I've been moving around a lot. Yeah, but I'm hoping to resume in August for 1 semester and complete my bachelor's in music.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let me get the more interesting stuff. Today on the show we're talking about women. Yeah. I can see, Okay, excited. Okay, we're talking about women, but more so the role of, because we've been doing a series about men and how to make better men for the last about 3 weeks. And today we're just really focusing on, you know, what the role of the women in those men's lives is in making them better men. Yeah. And I just like to get your views on what do you think the role of a woman is in making a man a better man? I mean, what do you think? What part do you think they play?
Well, to start with, I really think there are very few men who are organized, like physically.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into a man's room,
Yeah.
the first thing you'll see is socks in plates, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And usually women are more organized in that area.
Yeah.
So, and you know, in the mind, to be, you know, free in the mind or to think clearly, you first of all need to be free from all these physical things.
Yeah.
You know, once you're dirty and everything is messy around you, it's almost hard to think. It affects your thinking.
Yeah.
It affects, you can't be free if your environment is not very clear. It affects your way of life.
Yeah.
So I think when a woman organizes you in that way, they're actually organizing you in the brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's what I think.
I never seen it like that. Well, today on the show, that's what we're talking about. The role of a woman in a man's life. Now, there's a guy I read a lot called John Eldridge, and in his book, Wild at Heart, and I will quote, he says, deep in his heart, every man longs for a battle to fight, an adventure to live, and a beauty to rescue. I mean, women are absolutely core and central of a man's life. We chase them literally. Yeah. He talks about the woman with the golden hair and how every man is trying to find that woman. Also, you know, you've heard quotes, you know, about, you know, behind every successful man, there's, you know, a strong woman. So we'd like to know, you know, today, from you, especially the women, you know, today is going to be one of those shows where we are, normally we have a, you know, professional on the show or someone who is learned and educated on the show, and, you know, we're asking them all these things. But today's show is about you. We'd like to know what your views are on this matter. What is the role of a woman in making a man? Feel free to get in touch with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Our Facebook address is NTV GXP. Our Twitter handle is NTV_GXP. You can also give us a call and let us know what you think. What is the role of a woman in making a man? A couple of your messages off Facebook here really quickly. Henry says, a perfect woman is one who shapes her man to her dream character, not forgetting that love and care come first. Now, I'm not sure if I'm understanding this person, but he is talking about the woman sort of shaping the man, and it's a thing I absolutely do not like.
Okay, what is the person saying?
Like fixing. Like,
fixing.
a woman, like, this is how men should be, and she just
Yeah, but
try to
I think that women should not fix men.
yeah.
I think that they should try and live with men. I think they should not try and say, you know what, wake up in the morning, make sure that he's dressed in a certain way, do certain things, walk a certain way, be in a certain, as in literally.
But you see, because Brian talked about, what Brian talked about basically was a form of fixing. They help you be organized.
Yeah.
Because you're a disorganized person, naturally, right? So those were his words, not mine. So isn't fixing a man an essential part of a woman?
But why should a woman fix a man? A man is already fixed in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think that as we grow together as men, like when we were in high school, the fact that we were told to clean up and do whatever, we were getting into a certain form of fixing. So by the time we get married to you and we still leave our socks at the door and we still leave our shirts wherever and everything is over the other.
That's just being a man.
So that's just being a man. I think we know our stuff.
I think the fixing issue is a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Because I believe your mother has been trying to fix you the whole time.
Yeah.
My mother tried to fix me.
Exactly.
And my life was like that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what women are good at.
Yeah.
They don't give up on fixing us.
Yeah, but a man doesn't need two mothers in his life.
Here's the question I'm asking. Yeah. We normally complain and go and whine and say, "Oh my God, women are trying to fix us. We hate it." Yeah. But I read somewhere this guy is saying, at times before we start looking at what a woman should do, we need to start looking at the core of what a woman was created as. And I'd like to ask if isn't it about time that we sat back and said, look, if women are always trying to fix us, it comes naturally to them to try and fix us.
Exactly.
Yeah? Isn't it time for us as men to step back and say, look, isn't there something in the core of this woman in trying to fix us that is naturally there, that she was created for?
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Women were, the thing is, if you're going to try and fix me, help me.
Yeah.
Don't try and force it on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try and come and
so the way they fix is the problem.
And yes, and I think that it's now become all about I am the one to make you bend.
Yeah.
And yet sometimes actually I just need a nudge forwards and I think that that's in a way women are overdoing it and and they just
I know a couple of girls that are going to talk about this. Today on this show, we're talking about the role of a woman in a man's life. And feel free to call us. Our number is on the screen. Feel free to let us know what you think. Talk about I mean, women like to fix us. We don't like it much, but there's something for us to consider there. You can give us a call. Let us know what you think, what the role of a woman is in making a better man. A couple of more Facebook messages here. Christine is saying, help him to think straight, as Bran said. Kephas, you say, God created woman to take away or reduce a man's sorrows, pains, and dissatisfaction, which may include loneliness, care for him, create happiness for him, give him family by bearing children, to mention but a few. There are a lot of things here that I find very... Do you need a woman to be happy? Do you need a woman to be happy?
Well, it may not be the case sometimes. You actually might get sadder than you were. But yes, I think.
Let's just take a couple of these callers. Hello? 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 Okay, we can hear you. Just speak up, please.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Margaret, calling from
Yes, Margaret.
There's a saying, that's one.
Mm.
It has a respected woman. There is no honor and no respect. Meaning, there are some things that a man can't move on without a woman. Because every man in the life of every man, there has to be to organize each and every single case.
You're welcome. So I'm curious.
I tend to disagree with that. Okay. There's one bit. There's one bit that apart from giving birth, I think a man can do everything a woman can do.
Okay. Hello. You don't. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling George. I'm calling from Matthew.
Yes, George.
Yes, so I would agree with my colleague. DJ.
Yes, DJ Twonchecks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as far as I can tell you,
Yeah.
it's what we call lifestyle. I can see the DJ having the dress and this colleague of yours, this corner having the dress. But
Yeah.
you don't have the dress. Would you like the girlfriend or your wife to come and tell you, please, you should have the dress on your head?
Not necessarily. But it should.
My life is different from yours.
Yeah.
So sometimes they come to our home and they keep on telling us to say things and wanting us to do what they want.
Yeah.
Which I think is wrong. Yeah, that's my point.
Well, thank you very much. NTV GXP, hello. 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 Please step away from your TV.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Your name and where you're calling from?
I can't get you.
I can hear you loud and clear. We seem to have lost him. We have to get into a break, but when we come back, a couple of things this guy said. Kefas, we need to break that down a bit. And Tony went and, just sort of, added things in there. But, because he talks about things like loneliness and creating happiness. And do we need women to be unlonely? Is that their role in our lives to deal with the loneliness? We'll talk about that in just a bit when we come back from the break. And I'll have a bit more of Brian Mugenyi also doing his thing. You're watching NTV GXP. Good morning. Fabulous time in the studio. Doing some interesting discussion about the role of women in a man's life. And that's what we're talking about. You can get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook. Let us know what you think. What do you think the role of a woman in a man's life is, and how do women make men better men? Because a lot of times, over the first week we've been talking about how men make men fathers, sons, and really haven't considered that women have a part to play, especially since they are very central to the things that we look for and search for, and things like that. So we'd like to talk a bit about that. So please feel free to give us a call. Our numbers will be on the screen shortly, and let us know what you think the role of a woman is. Especially from you women, we'd like to hear from you. Or feel free to get in touch with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Our Facebook address is NTVGXP. Our Twitter handle is NTV_GXP. Brian.
Yes, please.
During the break, they asked you about influential women. And what women have been influential to making you who Brian is today?
My grandmother.
What did she do?
She did everything.
She did.
Yeah,
how? Because a lot of times, it's very easy to say that, and we never really put a finger on how these people help. Because instead of speaking from a raising a man point of view, because a lot of women raise boys the same way they raise girls. And yet, I believe it's supposed to be different. That boys are supposed to be raised different from the way girls are raised because of their expectations in society. So, how did she help you, Brian, become a better man?
Now, I've heard a saying that people say girls are raised by women, by their mothers, and boys are raised by their fathers. That stuff. I, for one, I've been raised by a grandmom. And I appreciate what she's done. She's done everything I think I should have. She's taught me everything I know, right from the music. Yeah, she doesn't sing, she doesn't play any instrument, but she let me do that. She could have said, I mean, my dad usually says that. every parent would have loved for their kid to be a lawyer or a pilot, or
but that's not the case. There's a lot of things these days that vivamo sente, entertainment. I mean, who earns more money than entertainment right now?
Yeah, and it brings us to the point. Men are dreamers and risk takers, and a lot of times we find that because women are more controlled and more calculative, and they want to play the game 10 steps ahead, they fail to understand us saying, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to do it. And do you think it is core for the woman in a man's life to let that man dream and do things and make mistakes, or is she supposed to be there to be, the checks and balances in that man's life?
I think it would be good to...
This is a good question to ask.
I know that it is really good for a woman to be the checks and balances. I just feel like lots of times women become so much check and balance that they do not let a guy, we are the guys who we wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I am going to this idea. Let me chase it. And you see, the thing is,
half of the time they're stupid ideas.
They're very stupid ideas, but you know that many stupid ideas were actually birthed and they are now really big things. Facebook, what? Bill Gates, running away from school. I think that we need to understand that sometimes our ideas are really crazy. They're out of this world. But let us dream. Don't hold us back when it comes to dreaming. Don't hold us. Don't say no. It's not going to work. Okay, I have 5 million shillings and I have put it in a business and the business has failed. I know it has failed.
Don't rub it in.
Don't rub it in now and rub the wound.
And that's an experience.
And the next time I have 5 million shillings and I want to put it in another business, you're like, remember last time you lost all the money.
But no, we'll get back to that in just a bit. We have a call on the line. Hello. We seem to have lost them. But you see, here is the thing I'm asking, because a lot of times men want to have this free range run around, no checks, that I do what I want. And isn't it really, and especially for married men, like I'm not married so I don't know. He's not married so I won't ask him. But especially for married men, and as regards to money and investing, because women see things different. She's thinking about the babies. But
investment is investment. You see, whether you're a man or a woman, if you invest badly, you've invested badly. But you see the thing.
So where what I want to talk about is, like, where does the woman start to come in these things? Because a lot of times we sort of, especially as regards to investment and stuff like that, we sort of cut the woman out and say
many times we cut the woman out, because when we have a really good idea and we're excited about it, you see, the thing is, when we're excited about it, it's good for us to run after it. But if we're excited about it and you slow us down, the next time we're excited about something, we're going to go on and
is it slowing us down a good thing of saying, before you jump, first stop and think about it?
No, but I personally would like to say that, first of all, like, say for example, when I woke up and I decided to DJ, I was already married, as like full-time DJ, and it was the weirdest thing to have ever said. But I run with the idea. Now there are lots of guys that have probably come up and said, you know what, I want to invest in this land and get money and develop our family and what. And the woman is like, no. Will it appreciate in time? Will it depreciate? Will there be will they sell? And look, sometimes you actually just need to buy the land.
Brian, what are your thoughts on the, especially as regards to dreams and things like that? What do you think? Because I am of the view that they're there because a lot of times when we have dreams as men, it's like being in love. We don't have a sense of, we don't reason very well as regards to those things. We never really see, we see the bigger picture, but our bigger picture is and we're never really checking the details because we're not very detail oriented. Do you think that you need a woman in your life to help you balance this out and say, look, these are the I's you need to dot and the T's you need to cross?
Well, I think she may not know what exactly you're doing. She may not have the experience in what you're doing, and she may not have a picture of what you're doing. But she might say something or two that might open your mind, that might change the way you think about the same thing. However, what I don't agree with is her trying to there are some women who will try to make you do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Like he said.
What they think
is the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
I think they should go in line with you, encourage you to do what you want to do, to make you do it to your best.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So women, let your men dream. Pretty much. That's what they're saying. We have a call on the line. Hello? 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 We seem to have lost this one. Of course, feel free to get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook. Our Twitter handle is NTV_GXP. Our Facebook address is NTVGXP. You can call us right about now. Hello? Hello? So, you know, the couple, and we need to get back to this message from Cephas, because a lot of times, a lot of men, you find men getting into chronic relationships because they're looking for a certain sort of fulfillment from a woman. John Aldrich calls it looking for the golden woman. You see, you find this one and she's not really it, and you just go and, you know what I'm saying, and you keep jabbing because you think she's going she's going to fulfill. I'd like to talk a bit about that need. You know, do you think that men are quote unquote incomplete without a woman in their life?
I think so.
You think they're incomplete?
What's the program again?
do you think men are incomplete without women in their life?
No, I really think they are, because I mean, it wasn't a mistake that God created a woman after a man.
Yeah.
If God created a woman before a man, then a man, I don't know,
would have come to complete the woman.
I know, yeah. But now that a man was created first, there was need for a woman. You know, so it's different. So a man can never be complete without a woman.
I think that there are different beliefs and ideologies.
What is your belief?
Ideologies.
What is your belief?
But I'd like to say that I'd like to say a woman is necessary in a man's life.
Necessary.
Yes.
Okay. That's the word you've chosen.
Necessary.
Okay.
Be it mother, be it wife,
I'm
be it sister.
I'm not talking about any particular relationship in any order. I'm just saying a woman.
Yes, a woman is necessary in a man's life. Because a woman will actually teach men certain things that they do not know. Yeah, so like we quoted, but if you didn't know, we know, we actually there's this lady called Abigail who was the wife to a guy called Nabal. I think that's the name. That's the name. So, you know, this guy, David had helped him somewhere along the way, and this guy just goes when David is exiled and he's running away from Saul and he's living in the mountains, he goes to Nabal for food, and Nabal, you know, pulls a number on him because he doesn't think like, who is this man, like Anyakumanyi, you know. But yes, the woman realized that this guy had been the future anointed king of Israel. You know, so she went and sort of fixed the man's mistake, and you know, got food and went and gave it to David and repented on behalf of the man, you know, and just made sure that things are sort of right. And it just gets me thinking, you know, a lot of times, again, the bigger picture, as we're talking about, do you think that a lot of times we never really do look at the bigger picture as men? And do you think that? But what is the bigger picture here?
Well, she didn't, because he thought David wasn't yet king. He thought it doesn't matter. You're anointed, but it doesn't matter. You're not yet king, so it don't really matter. And how she was saying, look, in a couple of years, David is going to be king.
But I think that there's a difference between having foresight and just being a man.
So do you think women have better foresight than men?
I don't think women have better foresight than men. I think that you are gifted and you have given the ability to see farther than regular situations. I know that women can usually they have the necessity to make sure that everything is perfectly, you know, the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and they make sure that that is how it goes. But that's not necessarily foresight. That is just that they are being cautious about the way they do their things. And I think that then I mean there are lots of guys in the Bible as well that really had foresight. And then there are lots of guys like Moses, when God told him, you'll have a child, he was like
it was Abraham,
sorry, Abraham. Abraham went and he, you know, even Moses, when God told him, you know, go and rescue the Israelites from Egypt and everything, he was not seeing it that way.
Yeah.
He did not see it the way God had seen it. And sometimes we have to be plugged right into God to be able to have that foresight.
So it's not necessarily about the woman.
It's not necessarily about the woman, it's about God.
Okay. And now I want to go back to raising little men. A lot of times, and I don't know if this is important, but you guys will tell me if you find it important. A lot of times, because you find I was reading a book and someone was complaining that because of the absence of fathers, boys have been raised by women and therefore have sort of become soft and sissies. They're not allowed to fight, they're not allowed to be aggressive, they're not, there's this new era of the gentle, quote unquote, I put that in quotes very carefully, the gentleman, the guy who is not going to stand up in arms and be aggressive and be wild and what. Do you think that it is important for a man to be those things? Because a lot of times you find, again, in the fixing phase, you find a woman meets this guy, she's wild, he has hair like yours, he's riding Harley Davidson, big bike,
or a road
he's
master,
bungee jumping, he's doing all those things, all the crazy things, and then he meets this woman and just sort of tones down. Do you think that is that sort of that need to make men calm sort of takes away from men, or is it a necessary step that men have to take?
No, I'll give you an experience of mine. I think it's a natural thing, because if that was the case, I think I would be a woman on the inside. But I'm not. Like, I tell my friends a story, and I'll tell it on TV today. My grandmother used to beat me. Like every mother will beat a child. She used to lock me up in the bathroom. Why? Because I was so stubborn in the neighborhood. I used to beat up the kids. I used to stone them. So she was like, I've got a solution. So she used to lock me in the bathroom. And open up for me in the evening when she comes back, and give me food and comfort me, not knowing that when she locked me in the bathroom, I actually got up through the ceiling, came down, played the whole day,
stoned kids.
Then when the kids would see my grandmother, they'd be like, dude, your grandmom is back. I'd go run back with dirty legs, be in there like this. So she comes back thinking I was in there the whole day. So it's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. No matter how a woman will try to make a man or a boy be like a woman, it doesn't happen. Like, it always come out like you're a man. Like,
but you find some men, again, and here is the point, like, you find some men trying to explore that at 40 or 50 because they have...
Yeah, but I think that it's good to let your child try and try again. Yeah?
And let them fight.
There's certain things that you can never stop a boy from doing, like, say, for example, fighting. Climbing trees. Touching a socket. You can't stop
trying to fix that
electronic thing. And what do you do then? As in, I spoiled my dad's radio, I spoiled it again. I'm still spoiling it right now.
And cause right now, because it's a concern, because you have a lot of fatherless boys growing up, which is a sad situation. But now for the mothers in their lives, how do boys want to be raised? Because I'd like to help mothers out there understand the boy that they're trying to raise, because we look at things differently. Does a mother sort of taming you down take away something from you as a man, something that makes you a man?
That's really hard. That's really hard, because I grew up with both parents. So I'm not sure about that. But I'm sure I've seen lots of guys grow up and they've been grown up as with only their mother or their grandmother.
But that doesn't mean I'm fatherless.
It doesn't mean no, but the more influential person in your life has been a woman. But they have grown up to be men.
So
good men. Straight up men. I don't think that there is a problem with that. I don't think that they're causing anything to happen to men. I know that once in a while, they want to tame us down, and they want to make us...
And that's what I'm talking about, the taming. Is it okay for them to tame us?
I know that they say that if you tame a lion, yeah, after a while it's going to chuck out of its madness and start to attack you. There are lots of stories that have been put in the newspapers and articles on internet that I have read where people have actually been chewed by their tigers that were tame at one point. There's a point where they need to just go wild, and that the man will go wild. And at what point do you want that child to go wild? Do you want that child to go wild when he's 25 and then he's lost in a world and then he's like mad? Or do you want him to, you know, experiment? I mean, I remember my brother touching, you know, putting pins in the socket, and we laughed about it. But later on, we found out that, you know, he began to figure out that he could actually fix a socket. He was interested in all those things, and I think that we need to give him we need to give the boys growing up the opportunity to be boys and just be mad about what they're. But you never know. Okay,
we'll talk about that more in just a bit, and when we come back, we'll talk a bit about the Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah, ladies love to quote that. We're going to quote a bit of that. I will have a bit of DJ Twanjex taking us away right about now. You're watching GXP. Feel free to call us and get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook. Our Twitter handle is NTV_GXP. Our Facebook address is NTVGXP. Leave your comments, your views. What is the role of a woman in making a man? You're still watching NTVGXP. We're running out of time really quickly here on the show. It's always a sad thing when, you know, we start to hit the last couple of minutes of the show and we have to go. But you know, we'll still have a couple of minutes of this discussion. I'd just like to talk a bit about Proverbs 31. It talks about this woman and all these things that make a woman, and you know, and I'd just like to ask how these things apply to men. And I'm just going to talk about that really quickly. But before I get into that, Brian, from a man's perspective, what are your expectations for the woman in your life in making you a better man? Really briefly.
That's a tricky question. Actually, we shouldn't expect much, you know, but like I said, a woman should be able to help you in certain areas you're not good at. Okay, if she's good at those areas, let's just say, like if I'm the kind of guy who wakes up in the morning and don't lay my bed. Okay, you can tell me, remind me to lay the bed. Maybe I'll change. But if that's been going on for as long as I've lived, she should allow, because for sure that's never going to change.
I know some mothers who don't like you right now. Your thoughts on, you know, what are your expectations from the women in your life? They're watching the show, so you know, it's your chance, man.
The different people I have. I engage with, and I think that it would be, you know, I don't know, I cannot be able to wrap it up.
Just briefly, like give us like two.
I think that it's good to let, you know, the man experiment. Because you know, that's who we are made to be. But the other thing is to encourage the man's ego. Lots of times the women fail to encourage the man to, you know, be a man. You're the man. You know, just come on. You know, just
strong and
you're like,
and
you're the man. Take care of me. That kind of thing. I think that it would be good to encourage the man to be the man, to be that guy, that pillar.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're done. Like those are your two.
Yeah.
Okay. Really quickly, Proverbs said woman, and I'm going to go through. There's a place I'm reading from that has 10 virtues of a Proverbs 31 woman as we wrap up the show. Faith, and I think this is absolutely important if you're a woman in a man's life. I think you need to be able to help him. I know they say men are the high priests, yes, which is an absolutely fabulous thing. I mean, we're the ones supposed to lead, but you know, women should be able to encourage us in our faith. I remember I was reading somewhere and someone was talking about how, especially as regards to marriages and families and stuff like that, that we're just forward trying to elevate each other. So you should be able to elevate the man in your life. 2, if you're married, Yeah, you should respect your husband. Like, that is a no-brainer. And as he said, you know, walk the brother's ego, man. 3, if you're mothering someone, please mother them in the way of the Lord, for one. But, you know, use care. And we're meant to nurture. But a lot of times you need to put wisdom and let the men develop as men. 4, make sure the men in your life are healthy. You know, virtuous woman cares for her body. That's for one. That's, you know. But she also, you know, make sure that, you know, the men in your life eat well. So make sure that the man in your life works out. If he's getting a, you know, an equator, your big tummy, what those things. Make sure the man, you know, is healthy. Number 5, service. Like, a lot of times, and it's not that women should serve men all the time, but there should be an example of service. A lot of times, men don't. Some of these things don't come very naturally to them to be able to nurture and care for everyone else. We think, okay, if I'm paying this and paying that and paying that, we're good. But you should be able to be an example of service that the man, you know, can sort of pick from you.
Yeah.
Finances, you know, first of all, don't spend the man's money weirdly, but also, you know, advise the man. A lot of times we, again, have weird dreams. A lot of times we need you to dot the I's. And I can, you know, there are a lot of, there's industry, there's homemaking. We're running out of time. I can't talk about all of them. But, you know, thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you so much, you know, for spending your morning with us. Brand Mugenyi and DJ Twonjix are going to be doing something amazing. Twonjix has some new gear. That's not on the GXP set. See, there's something here that I don't understand. But anyway, these guys are going to be doing something absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being part of the show, for being absolutely awesome company, for the messages on Facebook and Twitter. And if you're a woman out there, you have a man in your life, a son, you know, a man who, you know, you spend your time with, you know, a man who you're grooming, you know, a boyfriend, a fiancé, a husband. Please take time off to nurture them and, you know, make them better people, make them better men, make them better fathers, make them, you know, better husbands, make them better men. Bye-bye.
Is that too fast?
That's okay. Come on, Tom.
Wow, some exciting stuff here in the show.